Hello. Today I'm working on making a layout for a small town that I'll slowly build in over time. This is just a little setup I got going. I might add on some more, but we'll see. Right now, I want to show you how to build up framing and how you can use diagonals to make your builds have a lot more shape, and also just how you can make something that's a simple square look a whole lot better. This is also heavily inspired by Grians' how to go from a noob to pro video. I'll put a picture of it behind this window if I can edit it. First things first, how you can use framing. Obviously this is not a finished build, but I'm pretty sure you can see what the idea is going for. There's this 2-story building started here. It's going to have a pointy roof. There's going to be a rounded like tower here, a little shed, and a little entrance over here. The major benefits of doing this instead of just building it from the ground up is that you can start changing massive things that you build in a really short amount of time. Such as, if I think this is a little too pointy, I can just in a few seconds bring it down and make it a little more rounded, and save myself a lot of time and just by doing that, and that becomes a whole lot more multiplicative more blocks you add. For instance, if you were to change this pointy roof to a really rounded short roof, you can save yourself hundreds of blocks in some cases. Now, using diagonals can have a lot of trial and error, but can add a ton to the shape of your builds. The hardest thing is like having depth-based stuff makes sense. The roofs become really hard, the spacing and where you put the pillars, but as long as you just practice it a ton, you figure out what you like and what looks good, and you can then start making really good builds with diagonals. One of the things with diagonals that can help with Vintage Story is using the chisel. It it makes it look 900 times better than in Minecraft diagonals, just because you can make something that looks smooth. Now, right here you see me making one real quick. I'm using 2x2 only. I'll show you here in a second why I don't like 1x1s, but this is how I quickly make a 2x2. I just start with the big one, get to the next biggest one, clear out that once, and then I go to 2x2. So I don't need to make it again because I can just copy it. But as you can see over here, I have these 1x1s here, and I have this wall over here, which is made by 2x2s, and put these back again. But as you can see, this here gets really liney and glitchy looking very quickly. I don't really understand why. I think it's a lighting thing, because I see it gets worse on different points of the day, but this here I see gets a lot more glitchy than this here. So I just like doing 2x2s. It also saves on time for if you're in survival. It will save you a lot of time from if you're in survival. Now, another thing I like for diagonals is you can use supports to make things smoothed out. As for instance here, I think is one of the best examples. I have a ton of supports, and because they look flat, it makes the stuff around it kind of look flat. So I think like right there works very, very good. And another thing is you can also have steeper diagonals for if you want to. Now I'm going to get started on a little house here, and I'll just start talking about stuff I like doing when I start making up the shape. For instance, big square, not good alone, but you can start adding stuff to it. It can give you kind of a scale of how you want your build to be. Sometimes if you have a massive area, you might want to make a square and then break the square inward and do degenerative shape building. But this here, I'm just going to do additive. I'm just wanting to throw on maybe a circular tower here. Let's see if this will fit good. I think it will. Yep. And then another thing I like is if you're adding on a new shape, switch the color of it so then you can see it better. So you can differentiate each single shape you add a lot more. So I got a circle going here with a tower probably. I think I'm going to add on a like a box over here. Maybe I'll, like I said earlier, switch up the color. Make this one kind of bigger. And I think I think I'm going to do this. Yeah. And just so that things blend better, I'm going to put a diagonal right in here. So, I think I want a little more diagonal, so I'm going to move all of this one block. And now, imagine if I had gone through and built a full wall, and then I had to move all of that over. That would have been a lot of time. So now we have a lot more shape. Now, obviously you can't quite see the build yet, but you can get started with this. Next thing I like doing is then adding on some of this outside framing and supports, because then I can start figuring out the height. And it also, I like building it out once so you can add in depth very quickly and early on into the build. So, if you think about this little notch I put in here, it's kind of like I'm starting a whole nother square. It's almost like I added one there. And honestly, I think I'm going to go ahead and make that slightly more apparent by switching this one's color. So then, looks like that. Maybe that'll work. I might switch it back. I probably will, but we shall see. Now, if you have a bunch of similar shaped objects, I like to make the more inner ones a whole lot taller. If you do the outer ones, it almost feels like the build's falling in itself, and you can't like have this like stepping up view. Like for instance with this here, your eyes feel like they go upward slowly with each step. kind of similar to this here, where you have something to look up to because everything closer to the inside is taller. Okay, so I think this is a little too small. I'm gonna extend it to here, and then I'm gonna add in this little bit here. And since these two are hitting each other a lot, I'm gonna raise this just one block, and see. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so now I'm also gonna add on this big old tower. I'm gonna make it, I think, the tallest part of the build, so then you can have this looking up system. Oh, a little bit of lag. So you can have it start looking up. Once I start getting to the roof, I can then start figuring out where I want the actual true height, but I'm just going to go ahead and start getting a line going so I get a somewhat an idea of how much taller I want it. Okay, so I'm gonna start adding on a tiny bit of roof, just in some of the places, so I can start figuring out how I want transitions to go. Yeah. So, I have a slight dilemma over here. I have how these two hit each other and it becomes a big flat wall. Now, I kind of know that when I chisel this, it's going to make this smoother and then I won't have that issue, but I do want it to be more obvious that there isn't anything flat going here. And then I also need to figure out how I want the tall part, where do I want it to stop at? So instead of having it go all the way here, I want to tear it down, let the tower be a more main part, and then have this go over here. Right, so you can kind of now see where all the walls are going to go, somewhat. Next thing is just to work on the roofs. Like I said earlier, I started on a little bit so I can see how the I can break apart the transition from this to this diagonal. But yeah. Okay, so I have this much more rounded roof going. I think I'm going to make some more difference and make this one a little more pointed, but I'm going to go ahead and start working on it and see what I think. Okay, so it becomes a little blocky up there, so I think I'm going to have it round off a little bit like that there, so it's a little bit more tall, but I think that works there. It also won't make it super tall because I still need to get the tower. So, having too many issues with running into the tower. So, I think I'm gonna simplify and try to go a little further out. Maybe do that. So then I can do this. And I can do this. Right. And so then the next thing I do for roofs is I make some lines across here, and then I like doing one across here so that I can then get an idea of what's blocking what. Such as the tower's height is right now, I can't see it at all from this angle. So I'd have to make the tower a little bit taller if I want to see it just a little bit. Let's try that tall. Yes, and I can see the slight top of it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make this roof very, very short so that it doesn't accidentally reach up and hit this roof here. So I think I'm gonna try doing like that. Let's see how that looks. If I add one there, make this a 3. And is this short enough? Yeah, perfect. So now we have a little bit of a good frame going here. So now we can see kind of the house. We know how the roof's going to be. We can see some of the tower from the angles, how everything's blocking itself. Yeah, we get a good feel of the entire shape. And then you can also start visualizing like where you want windows up inside of there. You can start thinking, maybe I want to add a whole nother extension somewhere else. But that's what I've got going so far. I'm trying to think. Another thing is you could also do overhangs and such. It's okay to have like a big bunch of mass. Like for instance, let me go over here. You know what? I'm putting the build right here. So you can have your primary part of the house. We'll say it's that, and then you can have it go doing the framing. You can have it go up, across, and then held up. And then let me take it this way. Do you want? I want it smaller. Come on, fly. And then you can have where the next story is all the way up here. So whenever I do that, I'll sometimes fill in the walls just a little bit more just to be able to see the connections better. But that's another way to add on shape, is just go ahead and pull it forward, add stilts, and then there you go. You have another way of adding a more complexity and shape to your build. Another thing you might want to do is, if you want to, this won't work on this one, but pull the pillar in so it feels like it's pulled out more. That works a lot nicer, and then you get this feeling of it's getting bigger as it goes up. But I think I'm gonna leave it like this. I might do something with that. I might just tear it down. I don't know. I could start seeing something going even with it just that there. But yeah. So I don't really have much more besides finishing the build. But I think I'm going to save that for the next episode. So then you can start seeing more. I think I'll probably go over texturing and maybe windows, but we'll see. The biggest thing from this one is how to start the idea of your houses. How do you start visualizing your town, and being able to do these wireframes can make you have a pretty good idea of how things are going to look. So if this is helpful, please leave a like. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment, and thank you. Goodbye.